Welcome to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Would you sleep with sick women?
I may be pregnant, but I'm still a man.
Thank the unruly ones. It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous.
And I ride you till you can't stand up. Come on, let's go down. All right, keep your shirt on.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Dr. Drew is right.
All right. Dr. Joyce Brothers knows all. I am Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. He is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist, and he's back from Hawaii, and he got a little tan.
You just sized me up just now.
Yeah.
We haven't even looked eyeball to eyeball at each other since I walked in here.
I like to keep things. I like the hostility to be fresh.
It is kind of
on
fresh.
the air.
Yeah, it is.
We're here tonight with the Verve Pipe.
Hello.
Hey. There they is, straight from Sussex, England. They're just got off the plane.
Yes.
No, they're from Lansing, Michigan.
Yes.
And
East Lansing. Those are fighting words. What you just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is the voice of Brian you hear. Brad is his attractive twin brother. Well, not exactly twins, but they both get their share of snatch, I'm sure. And they are the Vanderarks. And later we'll have Donnie, AJ, and Doug come in here, like we did last time when we had the Verve Pipe in here. We did a bit of a round robin. And then eventually, you guys are all come together and do a little a cappella singing, I hear.
Sure we will. We got a little something special for you guys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Now, is it one of the songs off of Villains, or are you going to do just Blue Moon or something?
Brand new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're going to appreciate it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, my interest is piqued, but not that much. Now, Drew,
Yes.
You had a good time in Hawaii.
Yeah.
No, okay. All rested?
Yeah.
Spent a lot of dough?
Yeah.
Did you wear a thong? I gotta know.
No.
He wears a thong, but backwards. And let me tell you, that ain't pretty.
I wear thongs on my feet.
And a feather up his ass. All right, let me just take care of a little official Loveline business. First, as I'd mentioned on the air a couple of nights ago, we had Larry Flint in here a couple of weeks back, and I asked him what specifically, what titles fall under the publishing of umbrella that is the Larry Flint empire. And he told me he has computer magazines, he has boating magazines.
He's got a bride magazine, too.
Does he?
Yeah.
No,
really?
Bride, yeah.
Too
bride,
amazing.
Yeah.
Young Asian bride or just bride?
I think so.
But, you know, it's so funny when Larry Flint's telling you because you picture some guy in the computer magazine spread eagle. But anyway, he told me, and he was running off the list, and then he got to Busty Babes, and I told him to stop and go back to that one. I had no idea that Larry was responsible for this art form. And me being a breast man, I said, Larry, I need a subscription to the Busty. And he said, no problem. And I said, listen, Larry, this is not just, radio talk here. I'll dump your ass right out of that wheelchair and kick you while you're down.
No, you said he'd waste his empire.
I told him I would destroy him.
Yeah.
One brick at a time. I will take him down to the ground. Believe
you mentioned
me.
his physical well-being. You just said you destroy his empire.
I made him. I can break him. Or at least I can break him. The point is I wield a very mighty sword here on Loveline. We have many, many listeners, and I could just take him apart. So he agreed to send me out the subscription. I never saw it. 2 weeks went by. I got on the air and started complaining. Please, Drew, with the pager. I was on a roll. The point is I started complaining on a Wednesday, and Saturday I got a little manila folder or envelope in the mail, and it had the following cover letter regarding, and this is always funny when they do official stuff regarding busty pornography. Here it is on official Larry Flint publication letterhead. Regarding busty beauties, dear Adam, Mr. Flint has asked me to send you 2 of our current issues of Busty Beauties magazine, which are enclosed. And by the way, they could have just went to the warehouse and grabbed one from like 87 and one from 72. It really wouldn't have mattered to me.
Brand new, though.
Pornography is timeless. As long as I'm seeing it for the first time, it's always a current issue. I have also forwarded your name and address to the subscription supervisor. There's a gig.
Okay.
And we've enclosed some wet naps. No. So I get a 1-year subscription of Busty Beauties magazine at Mr. Flint's request. Thank you and enjoy.
Oh, wow.
And they should really just have a stamp that says Happy Jackin'. So I did get the Busty, and thank you, Mr. Flint, and all the lackeys over there at
Did
the
you bring
Flint
it along?
Empire. Yes, I did.
You do?
Yeah.
All the pages stuck together, of course.
They're actually both the issues were stuck together, but I soaked them in vinegar and you took a flat bar to them and got them apart just enough to bring them into the studio. Engineer Mike is currently pleasuring himself behind the board with that. But if you guys would like us to bring that into the studio for your perusal,
sure, we
certainly may do that.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so Villains is the CD. It's been out for a while now, but it's slowly moving and gathering momentum.
Starting to make a little more noise.
And when do you guys think you'll be back in the studio for the follow-up to Villains?
We're looking to go in probably by the end of the summer. So we're going to ride this as long as we can possibly ride it.
And you've been, I saw you guys at the Troubadour for a great show last time you were in here. Must have been about 8 months ago now. And are you going to be doing any more touring?
Oh, we'll be back in this area again. I couldn't tell you exactly when.
Brad? At this point, we're planning on going out again in April and May, so we'll probably be around.
So we'll come around here.
And it's a nationwide thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Have you gone to Europe yet?
Yes, we were in Europe with Kiss.
Oh, really? Were we talking about that? Wait a minute. Hey, listen. We have 150 bands in here a month, and they all say they've toured with Kiss. Everyone opened for Kiss. What do they have, like 11 opening bands?
Yes, exactly.
Everyone has toured with Kiss.
We were number 3. We were the third one. No, we did that for an entire month. We were over in Europe with them. It was
really? How was
fantastic. That? Very scary. It was a very scary thing. They're just not interested in an opening band over there, not like over here, you know.
Well, I mean, you have the phenomenon that is Kiss,
right.
and I'm guessing, I mean, listen, I don't want to offend anybody, but the folks that are going out to see a Kiss concert aren't interested in sampling newer bands.
That's true.
They're really not. I mean, they want to see Kiss, they want to get loaded, they want to spit blood, and it's more of a spectacle than it's not for the musical connoisseur.
But you know what? They were nice to us. They were nice enough to say, okay, we'll give you some lights, you know. And so we're up there playing, and I'm thinking, all right, our light show's pretty good. We got like 5 lights, all right.
Right.
You know? And then, of course, you see their show, and it's like...
Did you hang out with them at all?
Oh, yeah, we hung out.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything
Fun
we
guys.
should know? Good guys?
Yeah, they're really, really down-to-earth. I don't know. I can just throw a bunch of stuff.
You never talked to them.
I know. We never did. We weren't even allowed to. It's funny because, like, their dressing room was next to ours, and then between... catering was on the other side of their dressing room, and instead of being able to walk past their dressing room, you had to walk all the way around the arena.
Really?
To go to the catering. That was only for the first week, and then they warmed up to it.
Right. At least you didn't have to tunnel like some of the other opening bands we've had here. All right, Drew,
Yeah.
you set?
Yeah.
You all right? The old folks on medication?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's very serious.
When I get back, it's just hell.
It is hell.
Yeah.
All right, don't come back then. I'm telling you, fake your own death. This was your classic opportunity.
Adam, those words rang in my head for 3 straight days.
It's real easy to do. You charter a ship, you go out fishing, you leave the wife and kids in the hotel room, you grease the skipper's palm a little bit. He comes back with just like a pair of your underwear and a tube sock and says, "This is all we got. The gaffer just pulled this up. This is it, man." He was fighting a Mako for like 6 hours. I turned my head, and that's the last I saw of the guy. Just a pair of loafers right there in front of the fighting chair.
And busty women.
Drew, fake your own death and just start some sort of island practice where you only see lepers or something. All right, here we go. Kelly, 16, you're on Loveline with the Verve Pipe.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, my problem is that I was going out with this guy for almost 2 years, and we broke up in December. And we had been, like, sleeping together ever since, like, our 4th month together.
When you were 14?
Yeah.
How old was he?
15.
Okay.
So, and then after we broke up, like, a couple weeks later, we slept together again, and then it happened, like, twice in the same week or whatever.
Are either of you involved with other people now?
No. Well, now we are. He got a new girlfriend about a month ago. And I've been seeing other people or whatever, but not, like, anything, like, real...
You know what usually... I'm sorry for changing the gears in the show tonight.
Okay.
I mean...
Want to talk more about fishing?
No, you keep looking at me like...
I don't know.
You're opening your trap again?
I don't know you anymore, man.
All right, listen, I just wanted to say that, Kelly, when people get sort of strung out in this kind of a relationship, talking to enough people through this show, and I found it to be the case that generally the woman kind of has a sense that she's going to get the guy back. And she still holds these wishes and these feelings and doesn't really get over the loss of the relationship. While the guy may be completely done, but is just having sex.
Right. News flash for all the ladies. Guys can just have sex.
Yeah.
Some guys, that's all they can really do. I mean, they're not good at anything else. I can just masturbate. That's one thing I've
So
mastered.
you're sort of stringing out your own. You're paralyzing your own development and kind of stringing out your own.
Well,
discomfort.
all right, but don't put words in her mouth. Do you want her? Do you want this guy back, Kelly?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do?
I wanted him back since
See?
All right.
This
Drew is right.
having sex in this way is not going to increase the probability that you'll get him back.
Okay, well, they broke up a little bit ago, and...
Hey, cling to that wish, Kelly, but I think you're just doing yourself harm.
No,
and it's also
like
typical of somebody that sleeps with a guy when she's 14. They have real difficulty giving up that relationship when the time comes for it to end.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We're still really good friends. I mean,
If you're such a good friend, why doesn't he have empathy for your feelings and really respect those and have those as the priority in how he behaves rather than his...
Well, listen, he's 17, he's got a heart on, and the getting is good.
But
I mean, come on.
That's the point. That's where it must change.
All right, take it easy over there, Drew.
That he's torn.
Drew comes back full of piss and poi, and he's going to take the show over. Listen, I'm tired, Drew. I worked, all right? I don't need you banging your fist
You
and
had
going
2 days
on.
off.
I did?
Yeah.
Didn't you?
All right, but I was miserable. Kelly?
Yeah.
All right, forget about this guy. And listen, don't see him as friends because it opens the wounds. It really does.
6 months with no communication, then have a friendship.
Well, the thing is that he's torn between us because
No, he's not.
he still
No, he's
really
not.
likes me, and he's cheated on her with me.
Right. He's torn between two vaginas feeling like a fool. He's not torn between you two as people. He's torn between your parts. You understand?
It's kind of more than that, though. I don't know. Because,
Kelly, I think you spoke truth. It is kind of more than that, but it's not a lot more than that.
No, listen, if he was really interested in you, he would be with you.
Right.
Yes, he
And
has
if he
a
really
passing
cared
interest
about
in you. I have a passing interest in Engineer Mike. That doesn't mean I'm
Not
screwing him on the weekends.
Well, he's not sleeping with her, though.
As far as he tells you.
Right.
Well, no, I know he's not.
Right. He's trying. She may just be, staving off his advances.
Right.
I don't know.
You don't think he's trying to sleep with her?
No, he's not, because I don't know, they haven't really done much, and he's way more attracted to me physically than he is to her.
Well, why is he with her?
Well, because the reason we broke up is because that we fight too much, and he is just like, after we broke up, he's like, oh, she makes me feel good, and we don't fight, and we get along so good, and it's like...
Well, that's a good relationship. That's a better relationship than you had with him.
Yeah.
And so he's continuing to abuse you by relegating you to the position of his physical receptacle.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Really? I mean, I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm sorry, but that's what's happening.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
All right. The physical receptacle. Please, Drew. Like the girl doesn't already need therapy. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to wake her up.
All right, Kelly, wake up and smell the semen is what Drew is saying. This guy's a scoundrel, and please, listen, I wish that I had made some decisions early on in life that would have had some dignity involved. I really do. I made
just at least one.
At least one. I made an ass of myself in my dating career, really almost my entire life, begging for women to come back that would never come back, generally just making an ass of myself.
Any restraining orders? No.
Not that I'm willing to talk about.
Yeah.
Listen, there was one episode where I'd left my softball mitt at a girl's house, and I needed it that evening. I happened to be inebriated. There was a big game the following morning.
It was 1A.
And so I had to get in and get the softball mitt. And when I was done, I had to turn the place over looking for my softball while I was there. But I think you understand. And Drew, if you had a relationship with a mitt like I had, you would sympathize. But the point is...
A little symbolic reference to the individual you were in pursuit of.
The point is this. I wish somebody would have told me to, try to salvage some dignity when I was young, to stop doing what I was doing and to move forward and start setting a good precedent emotionally for myself. And that's what we're telling Kelly now. All right.
Onward.
Yes. Julie, 14, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, I have two things. I think that Dr. Drew and Adam, you guys are really great. And
however,
I just wanted to know, out of all the calls you get, are there any that stick in your head?
Were you writing something for the school newspaper, Julie?
No, I was just wondering.
You know what sticks in my head most is like what we've been talking about for the last, whatever's been the last 30 minutes, because it's such an immediate show that I'm, you know what I mean? You're like, what sticks in my head is Kelly now. Kelly sticks in my craw.
Yeah, whatever the last call was.
Like, are there any, like, really sad ones?
Yes, we had one that we've continued to sort of use as our example, because people started asking us this question about 6 months ago, and so right about that time we had a poignant call where Vietnamese, not twins, they were unrelated, but they were left in the street of Saigon during the evacuation, raised in orphanages, adopted by American families, one in Colorado and one here in California. And the one in California was calling us to report that her sister, as she called her, whom she was extremely close to, had begun writing her that her foster father was sexually abusing her and she wanted to kill herself. And so we were able to intervene and help her and have her get her parents to get the culprit foster parent.
Right.
And get the girl extracted.
This guy was just importing, Asian brides, basically. I mean, he was just taking these little, homeless girls off the streets and bringing them in and just molesting them. It was a real sad story, and Drew intervened. Drew did all the work. I was out smoking and drinking coffee, but Drew got on the phone during the commercial, and he actually talked to this girl and worked the whole thing out and settled it as far as we know. All right, Julie?
Yeah.
All right, no question? Yes?
Yeah.
That's it?
No.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if this is wrong, but I have my period every 2 weeks.
How old were you started getting your period?
I was 12.
And you're 14 now?
Yeah.
Has it been that way ever since you started having your period?
It started about 3 months ago.
It is very routine for women your age, young women, to have terribly abnormal periods before they establish more regular cycling. Some women never have regular cycles.
I get really tired and depressed and...
Well, PMS, that's the premenstrual syndrome. And then, with this irregularity to the period, tends to kind of...
No, I don't get it before, I get it after.
After, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, just we'll make it post-menstrual
syndrome.
Right. And we don't have to change initials that way.
There are other syndromes, certainly, that could be sort of hearkening forth now, such as ovarian cysts. And I really would doubt things like endometriosis. But there's polycystic ovarian disease would be the most common thing to give you intractable irregular periods. So there are other things that may need to be looked into future, but I would bet by the time you're 15, 16, this will normalize.
Or the cyst Drew spoke of will be the size of a goose, and they will be inoperable. No. Shouldn't she go get stuff looked at? But don't bring up all those diseases and then tell her to sit and wait.
If you're not having, those are not big deal diseases.
Name them again.
Polycystic ovarian.
All right, that sounds huge. That's like an 8 on the disease scale.
Not huge, like a -1.
Just above cancer. What's the next one?
Unless you got it, then it's a 10. Endometriosis, which happens to older women.
Huge, tremendous.
Well, I went to the nurse and she said it might be anemia or something.
No. Nah. But
right. Go to the gynecologist,
eat properly,
right?
Go to the gynecologist. I'm sure it's going to be fine, Julie. I suspect it's just normal.
All right, and no more period talk, please. I don't like to view women that way. All right, Drew, we need another call.
What happened to that?
No, they're gone. What do you want me to do?
I mean, they're gone.
Go. You want? Look, I just punched them up. You want me to go to their house? Shannon.
Yeah.
18. You're on Loveline with the Verve Pipe.
Hi.
Hey.
Where do you want me to start?
All right, I'm hanging up on you. All right, let's go to the next call. Karen, 18. You're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
Where do you want me to start?
I have a problem.
Shoot.
Okay.
Quick, before Adam's finger gets a hold of the board.
I have an itchy, punchy finger.
Okay. Let me just tell you a little brief history of myself. Okay. When I was 4 years old, I was separated from my mother, so I had to live with my grandparents for 6 years, and I came here. But before that, I was really abused, like physically abused by my cousins. And then when I came here, I had to go through a lot of step parents and stepdad and everything. And I constantly have this problem with my mom, and then I can't stand it. I think it's driving me crazy.
All right, hold on, wait. Why were you separated from your mom in the first place?
Because I couldn't get a green card, and she got a green card out in the house.
Oh, wow.
So it took 6 years to get the visa.
For you to get over here?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you were with your grandparents?
Yeah, and then when my grandfather died, I had to move in with my uncle, which was a really horrible experience. I just attempted suicide so many times while I was there because they abused me so much.
Oh,
Karen. I mean, this is far more than you and Mom. I mean, this is just huge.
Yeah, there's a horrible situation, but the good news is you're vying for the most poignant call of the week when we recite these things, when someone asks us a question again.
Well, I'm sure that just thrills her.
Well, there's a plaque. Karen,
Yeah.
where are you coming from?
What do you mean?
Where was the family coming from?
Korea.
Oh, okay. And so where's your mother now?
Well, she's downstairs.
Oh, she is?
So you're living with her again?
Yeah.
Oh.
And where's Dad?
I don't have a dad. My natural father didn't want me, so they got divorced when I was even unborn.
Wow.
And I had to go through 3 stepdads, but my current one is in San Francisco because of his job.
Right. All right. So you have a lot of anger toward your mom.
Yeah, and then every time, every single day is such a conflict. I can't just. I don't know. I just.
I don't see how Karen, with all the amazing feelings, conflicted feelings you must have about your mother, it's hard to imagine how you could be in her presence without having some kind of emotional sparks flying.
Do you want us to talk to her, Karen?
No, she can't speak English that well.
Well, that's right. I'm fluent in Korean.
No.
No, I swear to God, I'll talk to her right in Korean.
I'm making this call. She's going to make a big deal.
Okay.
And so you add to Karen's abuse issues, her separation issues.
Oh.
Then we have cultural issues.
Oh.
It's just huge.
I'm always glad when I hear that other countries are just as screwed up as ours. If there's anything that's good that could come from this call. But Karen, you need a whole heaping dose of therapy to get through all this. You really...
Is that what I need? I mean, a therapy?
Yeah, but you can't be molested by cousins growing up and not have to sort that out. I don't care what your culture is.
Yes. But, yes, if she has access to that, absolutely, that would be helpful. But what she needs is a lot of structure and support in her life.
Right.
She needs to be in school. She needs to have a group of friends that are supportive and teach her good living habits, good study habits.
Absolutely.
I mean, she needs the basics in place before the therapy part.
I'm 4.0 student. Yeah, I'm going to college.
Oh, really?
Great.
Yeah, I am
Karen,
that.
Try to, and this is going to be hard for her to do, to find a supportive group of stable friends. You're going to go towards the kind of wild, offbeat, chaotic people.
And don't get hooked up with any guys for 20 years. Stay away from all men.
Don't sleep with a guy unless you've known him for 3 to 6 months.
Sleep with a guy. I don't want you talking to guys.
Right. And stay in very, very stable, supportive relationships. Focus on your school. Develop your brain as much as you possibly can. And if you have access to therapy, then certainly that would be very helpful.
All right. Truer words were never spoken. Drew, why don't you sell the next call so me, you, Brian, and Brad can come back and tackle it?
Something for Brad. Here's a 40-year-old celibate, female.
Hey, right up my alley.
Are you celibate, Brian?
No, I'm a 40-year-old female.
Oh, okay. All right. Someone alert Dr. Drew that his half of the show is now fired up. All right. He brought the jugs in, yes. I'm sorry, the Busty Beauties. All right. Yes, I can see that. Drew, this is some fantastic radio. Drew comes in here like a monkey and points at pictures. Boys, would you like to look at the...
Thank you very much. We'll give you a full report on that later.
Brian? Wow, please, use tweezers to turn the pages. That's still in mint condition. It's going right into the vault. All right, Verve Pipe is here tonight. Villains is the name of the CD, and Dr. Drew is back from vacation. Also, so Brad and Brian are in here, the Vander Ark brothers, and then Donnie, AJ, and Doug will be coming in at some point, and we'll do the old round-robin thing, and then we'll come in and sing, and perhaps Drew, who has an incredible operatic voice, will join in. Okay, Drew. Can you believe we get paid the same? Can you believe that?
It's hard to believe.
All right, and one other thing. We were on the Lisa show a couple of weeks back now. I think it aired...
Well, it aired Friday.
Only aired Friday, right. And they kept sending us reminders when it aired. And it finally dawned on me. They want me to talk about when it's airing on the radio, obviously. Because why would they go through so much trouble telling me? I mean, I literally got 10 messages from the Lisa people saying, here's when it airs, here's when it airs, here's when it airs. And I intentionally didn't say when it aired because Drew and I thought it was just schlock. We just couldn't stand it. It was me, Drew, Dr. Joyce Brothers, some big chocolate mama up there who has wrote a book on something. What was her thing, Drew?
was basically you don't have to lie in relationships. Basically, her thing. As
Was that her book?
As though lying was normal, and you don't have to do what's normal. It was kind of backwards.
That in a money expert. It was really like a carnival geek show.
And then Metal Like Lemon, too. Probably, it's like the whole gamut there.
That's all we're missing. The original Lassie. And we're all sat up there, and these people, they do the circuit. And let me explain the talk show circuit. You sit there with a bunch of other people who do the talk show circuit, and you just jockey for position. And Drew and I aren't used to jockeying for position because we have an outlet. We have a radio show and a TV show, and we're not used to trying to wedge our opinions in between other people's retarded ideas.
Also, we're used to talking about things that are really, really burning issues for people, important issues. And we sat looking like a couple of groupers for 45 minutes, I'd say, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
We just sat there staring.
Yeah.
That's right.
Adam leaned over to me at one point and goes, God, I love doing TV where I don't have to do or say anything.
Yes, it's really quite a relief. But the point is I brought a little. I did tape it, and I brought a little snippet, and you can hear hear what a raucous and rough ride it was for Dr. Drew. Engineer Mike.
The topic is to be honest, right? To be honest.
But to be honest, because you respect what your impact is on other people.
When you play tricks on your friend all the time, it was for my friend to go in the refrigerator and drink the water or find out.
But now she's backpedaling a little bit here.
But no, I didn't go for it. We did it today, and I did not leave it. She found it, we backed it off, and kept going.
We were worried that she was leaving him, going, oh, my God.
You got to listen to the whole story.
Entitlement and narcissism is endemic in our culture. Am I right?
And this is a perfect guy right here. This guy's 100% perfect.
Dr. Drew is right.
What was that last line you said? Say that again.
Dr. Drew is right.
No, before that.
Entitlement and narcissism is endemic in this society.
They don't even know what that means.
Oh, there's a group
Lisa has no idea what that means.
Oh, the whole crowd was just a bunch of hog farmers who are half asleep sitting there going, endemic. Leroy, look that up. True. True, you got to know your audience, man. Yeah. So that's basically what it was, and I was just sitting there laughing.
You need to get Lisa on this show. Why doesn't she come do this show?
Well, I don't think she'll do it now. We said some things that weren't kind of. All right.
We like Lisa, we like to stab. I think
we did?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we did. Okay, yes, they're very nice people. Listen, you have to...
half the staff is our staff.
Listen, when you do nothing for a living, you have to be nice. That is my point.
Even just be nice. For the sake of being nice, can you?
No. All right. Can we move on?
Drew's right.
All right, Dr. Drew's right. Dr. Joyce is right about Dr. Drew. Anita, 40.
Hi.
Hey.
Just wanted to go ahead and just mention that I enjoy your show, and with both of you, of course.
Well, thank you.
And thanks for bringing the show into the year 2000. Actually, my question is not a troubled one, but if anything, it's more curiosity. I've been celibate for the last 4 years, and I'm kind of wondering how I can bounce back, or what can I do after being away from it so long.
You might want to warm up first.
Yeah, start alone.
I would say that. Yeah.
Start alone.
Yeah.
You want to get out in the dating world?
I guess I just want to be prepared.
Well,
you're talking about
something happened to her.
What happened? Oh, you want to do some gambling?
No.
Oh, come on.
Don't have to go that far back.
I'd like to gamble.
Look, she's at 36. She decided, I'm done with men.
All right, well, let's figure out what happened to her at 36. You want to do that, Drew?
All right.
Well, stop looking up endemic.
I'm looking up pomade.
Oh, okay. Do you get paid or not on this show? What is your job? Do you think your job is to sit there and better yourself while I stall with some song and dance on the radio? Would you shut that thing and get involved?
I'm here.
For Christ's sake. Can you believe that this article called me a sidekick? They did an article on Dr. Drew. They called me a sidekick.
Just dead weight you are.
The man, when he's not answering his pager, he's looking up abstract meanings in a dictionary. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right, Anita.
Yes.
Hold on. We're going to gamble on what made you snap at 36.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right.
You know what happened, right?
Sure, I know my life better than me.
Okay, well, we'll think about that while you're on hold. All right, you guys get some money out. Okay. Get $1. That's fine. Drew, I'm reaching for my wallet out of reflex, but I know I don't have any money in here. Someone give me $1.
I have just $1.
You should give me $1, Brad?
Yeah, that's for you.
All right. Now you gotta get one. Brad?
I have no cash.
Really?
Serious? Here we go again. I'm floating him again.
Float him again, Brian. All right, $4 in the pot. Drew?
Yep.
Pull your nose out of that
No,
Coke
let
for a
somebody else
second.
go first. I'll go last.
Yeah, but you go first to set the example.
No, I'm going to go last.
All right.
Because there's a lot of potential things here.
She found God.
She found God?
Yep.
Ooh.
Could be.
It's simplistic.
Born again.
Simplistic and brilliant. Okay, found God. Brad, what happened at 36?
She found Jesus.
Okay, a little twist on that one. What about for those of us who believe Jesus is the Messiah? All right, now who did she find? Did she find, was she traumatized somehow? What happened?
She definitely had to be traumatized in some way.
All right, so possible rape, perhaps? Traumatization.
By the opposite sex.
Okay, but physically traumatized?
Physical. Mostly physical, partially mentally.
A bit more specific.
No. Yes, that's way too broad. Come on.
Come on, there's $3 in it for you.
Okay, there's definitely some sort of rape involved.
Rape. Right. All right, you're going rape. All right, so Brian found Jesus Christ. Brad, rape. I am going with long-ass marriage. Got married young, went a long time, a lot of just a horrible relationship all the way through. Finally got away from the guy, and her crotch dried up like the Mojave as soon as she got out of there.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is probably the one.
All right, well, go ahead.
So let me try to think of some way of modifying that. Sexual identity issues.
So, maybe a little lesbian.
I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going with that.
I mean, it's good. But slow down.
But she... All right, a series of maybe 3 abusive relationships.
3?
And each of which the guys disappointed her terribly.
Okay.
They went well for a while and then just collapsed.
Okay.
2, we'll give them 3. All right, 3. And some sexual identity issues.
It's just a buck, please. What the hell line was she on?
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Hey, Anita.
Yes.
All right, what happened 4 years ago?
Oh, you guys are all off.
What happened?
Actually, it's, let's see, 12 years of marriage, 3 kids, 1 husband that's been on coke for the last 7 years.
Oh, because this pot's looking sweet for me right now.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like that, but not too far.
When did you break up?
Probably about 4 years ago. They actually became official about a year ago.
Right.
Do you believe in God?
I've always been spiritual.
Well,
always.
I'm still in.
You said she found God.
Let's get a chance.
No, Adam's got it.
Spiritual.
Adam's got it all the way.
Any rape?
No.
Ever play any golf?
Now, hold on.
Play golf?
No golf?
Now,
okay.
hang on, wait.
Wait, I'm taking the pot.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Okay, wait, check this out.
Okay.
So by the time you were 36, you'd been in a 7-year marriage?
12.
Probably already 12.
12-year marriage.
Right.
And that with a cocaine addict. How about the relationships that led up to that?
Well, I've been through many self-help groups, and obviously I understood why.
How about the couple relationships before you met your husband? What were those like?
They were all addictive.
Okay. Abusive, addict.
Yeah, and that's why
No, duh. Well,
you 2 split the pot?
No, we don't split the pot.
We do, because the only way I could modify your thing, which I thought was right, is by making the history of the...
All right, but I let you go first, and you passed.
I would have picked yours.
All right, listen, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'm taking the $4.
She's had a series of abusive relationships with addicts. Your dad was an addict, or an alcoholic, right?
It's what they call a dry alcoholic. Yeah.
He's an alcoholic. He's probably was a
drinks powdered gin.
And he's
a dry alcoholic.
But a dry alcoholic we also call a rageaholic.
There you go. That's what he is.
Because they become very abusive and they act out there.
Yeah.
Listen, Drew, enough with your spin doctoring on her relationship. Drew can eventually turn anything into his answer. I'll give you a sympathy dollar because you're pathetic. Brian, you get your $1 back. Wait a minute, I'm missing $1. Brad, you are S out of luck.
Busty magazine.
Oh, really? A little surprise for that. It's like I'm tipping myself while I'm masturbating. All right, Anita?
Yes.
Do we answer anything, or we just gamble on it?
So we got the story on it.
Right.
No, wait.
Well, we got to go to break. All right, Anita.
Yes.
Don't have sex for about 5 minutes.
All right.
All right, then we'll line you up with a suitor.
Cool.
All right?
All right.
All right, perhaps one of the members of the Verve Pipe will be in town, and you can work a little service agreement out.
Zoom.
I don't go in for these backdoor shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Shenanigans.
Tips, dips, chains, whips.
Shenanigans.
High school orgy type of thing.
Loveline, I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Nev Campbell, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Okay, phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. We have Brad and Brian in here, the Vander Ark brothers.
Yo!
From the Verve Pipe.
It's like we're in the circus or something. The Vander Ark brothers. Yo! Hey-yo.
Hey-yo, and the Flying Vander Arks.
Yep.
Now that's a name.
That is a name.
And the CD's villains, and we're going to hear something off that. Also, Donnie, AJ, and Doug, the rest of the Verve Pipe will be coming in here in just a little bit for the changing of the guard, and then we'll all be doing some singing at some point, as soon as I get drunk enough. Now, when we left off, we were speaking to, who were we talking to? Anita, yes. Anita had not had sex for 4 years. She'd gotten done with a series of bad relationships, and especially a long-term marriage, and now wants to get back into the sexual arena. Anita?
Yes.
All right, and you want to know how to do that?
No, actually, I mean, I don't need to know how to do that. But my question is, actually, I have a trust issue, and so being celibate for so long, I really don't want to get into another dysfunctional relationship.
Have you been doing anything to work on yourself in the intervening 4 years?
Well,
you said you went to a lot of self-help groups.
Yeah.
What did you go to?
Went to Al-Anon, went to Children of, what is it?
Adult Children of Alcoholics.
Yeah.
How long did you go to Al-Anon for?
Probably about 4 years.
Then you had a sponsor, worked the steps.
Yeah, and basically we even had our own. It was a women's group that I worked with more closely with one of the workbooks, and that kind of got me a lot in touch about myself.
Good. And why'd you stop going to that?
Oh, because I didn't. You know, sometimes you move on, and at that point we actually all moved on. And I haven't really had any time to go to any self-help groups any longer. I mean, I don't know whether it was a crisis at the time, but I thought that was, at that point, that's what I needed.
What about getting some individual therapy?
Well, the thing is that, I mean, I'm not going to say it wouldn't help, but it would discuss the problem. I mean, it's not even a problem. I mean, we're already
All right, put that thing on vibrate, would you?
Won't go to vibrate.
And then pass it over here.
Along with you get the Drew's beeper and the Busty issue, and you got a weekend going.
Forget it.
All right, what do you guys think? First off, Anita,
yes,
you're not really clearly defining your question, but I'm just gonna guess on this one. All right, we are gonna tell you how to go out and meet yourself a man.
Is that what you're asking for?
No,
All right, well, look, I've had enough of Anita. I really have. What is the damn question? You want to know how to have sex? You want to know where to meet a man? You want to know how to start a relationship? Every time I ask her one of these, no.
She wants to know how to deal with some feelings she's having, and she can't tell us what feeling it is.
All right, 4 years has been...
The trust thing, I think, is as close to her telling us what she was having a problem with.
All right.
So, how do you learn how to trust people?
Here's my take. The fact that she did not rush out of her last abusive relationship right into the arms of another abuser says that there's been some healing.
Yes, absolutely.
That there's some degree of sanity.
Yes, that she's improved.
Right. And now her goal is to go out and get laid before the hot flashes start.
Now she wants to have a more functional relationship, but she doesn't trust other people, and she probably appropriately doesn't trust herself to find a good person.
All right, but she took 4 years off. That was a huge step in the right direction, and you just slowly work your way out into civilization.
So very slowly get involved in relationships. Date a bunch, meet a lot of people.
Right.
Get involved slowly. The guys, and probably the guys that she wants to be with the most, don't go there.
Right. And this, I just came up with a good idea. What they should have is, you know, people that have a history of bad relationships should just have a... like a little liaison.
Oh.
They should. Well, no, that's good too. But go out with somebody who's sane. Go to a singles bar and have them sort of go, no, not right. Ah, this guy. This guy's good.
And you could call that person your friend.
Oh, really?
I mean, friends
sure.
should be able
you
to
would
do
talk
that.
and eventually become friends.
Right.
You're right.
So
Chris.
why not just
what do you call
find a friend and help that friend help you make good choices?
When somebody's stuck in a cult, and what do you call that group of people that grab that person, take them out? Intervention, and some type of intervention. That's what she needs is like, you need to get like 100 guys, very trustworthy, sensitive guys in a room, and somebody needs to drag her in there and have her mingle with those guys for a couple of days. That's what you need to do.
Right,
That's my advice.
And a video camera.
And a video camera. Preferably hidden.
All right. We've gone long enough without hearing something from the Verve Pipe off of Villains. And do we want to set up the freshman, or just want to give it a listen?
The song speaks for itself, Adam.
The Freshman off of Villains from the Verve Pipe. Great group. I really do like you guys.
Thank you. We like you too.
I don't, I like a lot of the guests we have, a lot of bands we have. I like them all as human beings, but I don't necessarily like every group that comes in here musically. But I really enjoy you guys. You run the gamut. You know how to rock, and you know how to roll. I mean, or stroll, or strut, or something. Yes, a very talented group, this Verve Pipe. Seth, 15.
Oh, hi. I have a couple of comments and a question.
Shoot.
The other night you were talking about how men have to work a lot.
Christ, this again.
Was I here?
No. Yes.
I was just going to back you up on that, Adam.
Oh, really?
I experienced that pretty much. My father, he was out of work for quite some time, and he was really, really depressed about it.
Yes. I made the statement that I think men have to work from a biological standpoint, that it is in a man's genes that he must work, and that women like to work, and that a lot of women have to work. But I would say, if you had to say who needs to work more from just a purely biological standpoint, I mean, who can stay home and not slide into depression faster when they're not working, I think men would get the nod. Yeah. And naturally someone called in and disagreed with me because there were morons.
And I was really disagreeing with that. In my mind, it was really something that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
All right, what's your question, sir?
I have got some strange little bumps on the head of my penis.
And they've been there for a long time?
About 3 months.
Are they symmetric? Do they go all the way around?
No, they are just right in front. Does
it look like Orion the Hunter?
No.
No. Okay, because there's something to that.
Are you sexually active?
I have had oral sex before.
All right, we'll have to...
It's quite limber, this set.
We'll have to get to this.
Yes, we must go to break, and there will be the changing of the guard. Pick back up with Seth. And
finally we get a good question, and now we got to get the other guys.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. No, screw the other guys. Screw them. No, we'll finish up with Seth, and then we'll do the switch. And when you guys should sing. Let's not do it at 12. Let's do it right when we come back.
Okay. We got to rehearse, though.
All right.
We'll rehearse right now.
Good. You got 3.5 minutes. Seth, we will get back to you, and we'll be back with some live a cappella Verve Pipe. Okay, the show is Loveline. The guest is the Verve Pipe. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew, and we'll be back in 10 seconds. All right, the Verve Pipe is now represented in full force. Brad and Brian have been joined by Doug, AJ, and Donnie. And as promised, we're going to get a little a cappella Verve Pipe. And let me just set this up for a second. This is a band that doesn't need instruments. Instruments are just a plus for these guys. They could probably sell out the Coliseum. They wouldn't even have to show up. They could literally just sing from the. They could just have it mic'd in from the bus. They really could. They're that talented group, and they're going to do a little a cappella for us now. Do we need to know the song, or do we just want to get right into it?
I think it pertains to what the show's about. So we thought we'd put this together. Of course, there's 5 members of us, and one member doesn't actually sing So
Right.
he'll be drinking his coffee while we're singing. So here we go.
Okay, Doug is going to be on lead Sanka.
Lead Sanka.
Okay. The Verve Pipe.
That's it. That reverb.
Yeah, we didn't have time to learn.
Oh, that was excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, that was now that would not be found on the Verve Pipe's latest CD live at Budokan, but all right, Brian and Brad, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. That was excellent. And if you guys want to do another number at any point in the show, please tell Ann and we'll discuss it. No, of course we would be just pleased as punch to hear it again. Drew, shut that door behind you, please. All right, so Donnie, AJ, and Doug. Doug, wonderful job on the coffee there.
Thank you.
They were all coffee except for the middle one. That was Doug pleasuring the host. All right, so you guys know how the show goes.
Yeah.
We've talked enough about the band. We will play something else off the Villains CD as we go, but now it's back to the calls. Now, when we left off, who were we talking to?
Seth on 4 there.
Ah, okay.
We're still going to talk to Seth?
We didn't really get to Seth's problem, did we?
Yeah, he had some bumps on it.
Had bumps on his penis?
Yeah.
What is up with that, Drew?
I think it's the pearly penile papules.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that happen? But we always get that call, but not at the end of the penis.
No, they can occur there, too.
Maybe he has a really short penis.
And
it's
a circumferential. They usually go all the way around, though.
I think I rented that circumferential. Seth.
Uh-huh.
You have the bumps on the penis.
Yeah, right below the head whenever you pull back the foreskin.
And it's not all the way around?
No, it's just right there on the front.
Are you picturing this?
I'm trying really hard not to picture Seth's penis, but yes, I am envisioning Seth's penis.
Well, they aren't really that big. They're just, like, barely... They're noticeable to the touch and everything.
Seth, not to change the subject or anything, but what color hair do you have? I'm trying to envision this also.
Do what?
What color hair do you have?
Black.
How tall are you?
About 5'6".
Likes and dislikes?
Turn-ons?
It's probably the pearly penile papules. The only other thing that it would be of concern that it could possibly be would be genital warts. And those look like warts. They look like small little warts, and that's really not what you're describing.
No, they aren't big enough to be warts.
Well, warts can be very tiny, and certain... It's funny, different strains of the wart virus create different kind of warts and different potential for problems, particularly with women, where the risk for cervical cancer can go up depending on the strain of wart virus you have. Mm-hmm. So, if you're worried about it, have somebody look at it. I suspect it is just the normal phenomenon of the pearly penile papule.
But you've only had oral sex.
No coitus.
No coitus. But you've had the bloatus? Yes. Okay.
Wasn't he a Popeye character?
I speak Latin as well.
I love your Korean today. That was awesome.
I was about ready to have a dialogue with her. Believe me, I worked as a houseboy in the Korean embassy for many years before I got my start on radio.
Ah.
Yeah. Yes, I was the voice of Saigon. Is that in Korean?
No.
Siam?
No.
Cincinnati?
Seoul.
Yes, thank you. Bangkok? No. William.
Yes, sir.
23, you're on Loveline.
Yes, I am. First, I have to preface this by saying I wish I could hear your radio show here in Spokane, but I can't yet. Hopefully they'll get it here. All I can see is on MTV.
All right, and how'd you get the number?
MTV actually gave it to me. They told me that my story was a little too involved for the TV show, even though they thought it was interesting.
That's
so
nice.
Very
good. Very good. Hear.
Hear. All right.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I got a little lead into my story. Hopefully I'll keep it as short as I can. What happened last summer, the end of summer, my now, of course, ex-girlfriend stabbed me and put me in the hospital for 5 days and practically killed me.
Was she prone to violence before this?
I found out after the fact that, yes, she was.
All right. How long had you been with her?
After he was stabbed, he found out that she was prone to violence.
You mean you found out she had a history of violence?
Yes, I found out she had a prior history of violence.
And how long were you with her?
11 months.
And what was that relationship like?
Up until then, actually, it was wonderful.
Did she get, you'll excuse the expression, did she become nuts? Did she get crazy, think you were somebody else? And
no, she didn't think I was anybody else.
Did she act terribly irrationally and not make any sense at all? Or was it the culmination of some kind of argument you guys were having?
Actually, we weren't. Well, we were in a disagreement. What happened is she started spending time with her brother and his friends. She wasn't cheating on me or anything, but she just wasn't around.
She doing drugs?
No. She wasn't on drugs.
I gotta say, it's refreshing to hear about sober stabbings. It really is. In this day and age of people getting hopped up and going out and doing foolish things, I think it's refreshing to hear about someone who's stone cold sober wielding a knife.
It's almost a bit
And what happened is I just told her that maybe she should go away for, a few days and sort out exactly what her priorities were and whether or not I was still a part of that, because I didn't feel as though I was.
Because she'd been away from you so much.
Yeah, because, she she would go to work, but then she'd be with her brother and his friends until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Totally appropriate.
And
by the way, she was doing drugs. Anybody else disagree with me?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen, anything that goes on, unless you're a farmer or you have a morning gig in radio, you don't stay up till 5. That's it. You have to do drugs, not because of the hour, just because of what's on TV at that time. You really need to be high to watch TV past like 2:30 in the morning.
So we're already speculating that stimulants are involved here. And that stimulant...
you gentlemen may very well be right, because she had done drugs before me.
Okay, people don't have done drugs unless they're in some kind of recovery. They continue to do drugs.
Wait a minute, I've done drugs.
No, but I mean, he sounds like she was involved with drugs.
Oh, okay.
And if she's doing stimulants, people that do stimulants are prone to violence.
Okay.
And they really are. And the violence is not even worth trying to figure out why they do it, because it's a biological event. It just happens. They get violent.
Right. Well, now we lead to my question.
All right.
The situation is this. I've seen her once at an arraignment hearing since this thing happened, and obviously I haven't talked to her and have no wish to talk to her. The thing is that it's happened the end of July last year, whatever it is now, 7 months later, something like that.
And your question?
Yeah, I can see why the TV people made short work of you, William. Let's take this bozo and palm him off on the radio. Those morons will take it.
My apologies.
All right, William, I want to backtrack for 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Where were you stabbed?
In the back.
Oh, really?
She grabbed me by the shoulder and said, "I'm going to kill you, your mother, you know what?"
Right.
And stabbed me.
Tried to.
And the knife went about 4.5 inches in. I had a collapsed lung and the whole business.
Oh.
You're very lucky.
And and listen, I just had this thought, but I was thinking, when God created man, he put the rib cage in to protect the vital organs and whatnot. I don't think he counted on, knives and assault rifles and whatnot. And I'm thinking, as we evolve as humans, shouldn't we also evolve from a skeletal standpoint, like some sort of, Kevlar mix coming into the human skin or something? People are they're too weak for today's environment. If you think about it, between motorcycles and cars and everyone wielding a gun and crazy girlfriends with knives, we really forget about this old,
Amphibians learned how to walk.
Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. Right. We should be evolving. We should have skulls that are 6 inches thick. We should have armor plating. Not to mention this whole snowboarding and all this. Kids are getting killed doing this. All right, William.
This is worth our time.
All right, Drew, please.
Adam, please.
Okay.
Okay. What I want to know is that I have opportunities to pursue romantic relationships. I am interested at this point, but I'm being very reluctant, waiting for this trial and whatnot to be over. And
why? What are you reluctant about?
I'm waiting for some sense of closure, and I'm not sure if that's really right, and I'm wanting to know if...
I think when she put a knife in your back, that pretty much closed things. Yeah, I think now it's about...
But you know what I mean, where I want to see the punishment reciprocated on her, and once I find out what's going to happen with that, then I feel like that big weight's going to be lifted, and then I can go pursue these things.
If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. I would wish not for you. I think if there's any trust issues that you should really take note of, it would be to trust whether or not you should trust yourself to pick somebody sane in your next relationship. It's William that needs to make some changes so that he then is able to go out and make better judgments about the relationships he conducts in the future.
All right, I have no idea what you're saying, but I was thinking about this. You can picture William in his next relationship. What happened? You always have that conversation where you talk about the old flames. Yeah. And William going, I gave her the best years of my life, and this bitch stabbed me in the back. And the new girl going, really? What'd she do? No. She put a shiv in my lung. I'm serious. She stabbed me in the back.
Just don't take her to a steakhouse.
No, but look, let's make sure we've given William some closure here too.
All right, anyone had a punctured lung, we can spend an extra 30 seconds on.
The deal is, William has got problems with whom he chooses to be in relationships with.
Yes.
If there's any trust issues, he should be careful about how he trusts himself and his own judgment. It's not about women, it's about him.
Right.
There are plenty of trustworthy women out there. He has to just be careful to find one.
Right. His compass is a little screwed up.
Yeah.
Jason, 27.
Adam, mahalo.
Hey, mahalo.
Oh, by the way.
What?
There's a franchise for you, Adam.
Really?
Mahalo exists. You know, they say Aloha on everything.
Right.
You can buy 1,000 products, say Hawaii or Aloha on it. I looked everywhere for something that said Mahalo on it for you.
Nothing.
Except the trash cans everywhere that's sort of utility
Drew just
oriented.
got back from Hawaii, by the way, and you couldn't have brought me home a trash can?
I thought about it.
All right, but all the performers and everything say thank you and mahalo.
Everybody
right?
says thank you, mahalo, but it doesn't say it. It's not printed on any T-shirts or anything.
All right. Well, I'll get the boys at the silk screening lab to work on that immediately, Drew. Thank you. Jason?
Good evening, Dr. Drew, Doug, AJ, Donnie.
Hey.
Dr. Drew, I was curious.
Oh.
Jason.
Me and my girlfriend have been seeing each other for about 6 months. And we have, in the past 2, maybe 2.5 of that, have become pretty involved physically. Well, upon providing her with cunnilingus, okay, initially, it was her orgasm was very rich. It was thick. I mean, there were some, like, heavy drips.
Right. There's a nougaty.
Without the nut, yeah. So
right.
A little orange peel.
Well, yes, the nut was not there, but it was in the vicinity. All right, so nougat without the nut. All right.
And, well, after continuously doing this, it has become thinner and thinner, and almost to the point of transparency as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
So that's a viscosity breakdown is what that is.
Oh, well.
My point is it seems to have, when that initial climax, she was screaming hard enough to get the paint to peel off the walls. If I were to hold off for about 3 weeks, or maybe even a month, would I be able to achieve that same consistency of her orgasm?
How do you rediscover the nougat after the nougat is gone?
I guess so. This is,
Is that normal?
Hold on. Why are you asking Drew?
You think it's a dietary thing?
I don't think it's a medical thing, so I really am not the person to ask about this.
But you guys go down on a lot of women, right?
Oh, every single chance we get.
Right, yeah. Wipe your mouth. And, seriously, what do you think, Donnie? Have you ever experienced this with a woman, the viscosity change this way?
Actually, no, I'm quite sloppy. So I don't really notice the matter of a woman's ejaculation of any kind.
Right, it could be you.
It could be me and the fact that this hair on my chin just gathering moss, and everything else.
It really looks like a Asian woman's vagina. I really got to be honest with you. It really does.
See him when he stands on his head.
Oh, jeez, that'd be huge. Couple of beers in the band. It's a long night out on the road.
That's right.
Come on, Donnie, do a handstand.
Come out just once more.
All right, so anybody, we haven't heard of this. I certainly haven't.
Well, follow-up question real quick for the Verve Pipe. And this is going to sound pretty generic. Where'd you come up with this name?
Actually, our old guitarist came up with it, and it doesn't mean a thing. And
we were going to call the band the Happy Plumbers, but it was already taken, so it's just a deviation.
There's
okay.
Yeah.
Means nothing.
No.
Doesn't mean anything.
No.
Verve is like energy, or it's like zest and verve, and pipe is, of course, an apparatus. Todd, 17, you're on Loveline.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Good.
Hey,
Hey, hold on. Drew, can I pull you away from your studies long enough to join the show? Or
yeah, sorry.
What are you looking up now, Drew?
Nothing.
What's you looking at?
Really? Do you have anything to say or not?
Yeah, I do.
That's you. Drew?
No.
All right, well, get away from the mic then. Jeez, he pulls the book open, he leans in like he's about ready to do something, and then nothing happens.
I'm listening to Todd.
All right. You know what I'm talking about. Todd.
Okay, here's the deal. I introduced my best friend to this really good-looking chick that was also a friend of mine. And they hit it off, and so now they're together. And this is the first time he's really fallen for a chick. He's like one of those guys with a lot of girls, but never really falls for one. So now they've been together for about 2 weeks. And this weekend we were hanging out, and she told me that she was going to break up with him, and I asked her why. She said it's because she likes some other guy. And yesterday I found out that some other guy was me.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be no problem, except for that I've kind of developed feelings for her, too.
Why'd you set them up in the first place?
No, we were just good friends, and I thought he'd like her.
You and the girl were good friends?
Yeah.
Would you have liked to have gone out with the girl if you thought you had a chance?
No, not then. But
really?
we started hanging out more, just a group of friends.
Is it because he became so into her that all of a sudden she became attracted to you?
No, I don't think it was that. It's just I've gotten to know her better since they've been together. Because
This is very suspect.
Yeah.
Very suspect. Usually guys learn to loathe women after they get to know them as people.
No, she's a cool chick, man.
Okay. All right, and you want to know what to do.
Yeah, well, I don't want to screw him over, you know. He's
Right.
my friend. So
You want me to screw him over?
Well, if you want.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll give him a call.
I'm thinking no. He has a pretty mean mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll handle her, Todd.
But here's the deal. Let me give you my idea. See what you think. I was thinking maybe I'd go ahead and tell her, that I like her and I feel the same way about her.
Wow.
But could we cool it and keep this all secret for like 2 or 3 weeks? And then I could tell him, and see if it's cool with him.
Just translation, 3 weeks and 17-year-old time is
like
7 months.
Really is. All right, so Todd, and meanwhile they break up and you guys lay low for a while.
Yeah, and she's going to break up with him. We'll lay low.
Right.
Then I'll tell him, is it cool if I go out with your ex-girlfriend?
Right.
So yes, everything's cool.
Right. Right. All right. That is diabolical. That is ingenious, but you'll never pull it off. Your first boner, you're going to go running over to her house. This guy's going to come walking in the middle of it, and you guys will come to blows, and someone's going to get lung puncture.
Blows?
That, and he could ask his friend 6 months from now if he could date her, and he'll still be no.
Absolutely not. Yes, I still won't let any of my friends go out with anybody I've ever went out with or fantasized about.
Since you were 9.
Since I was 9.
Yeah.
That includes most of the population of North America, including many celebrities.
The likes of?
And I'm talking male and female.
Yeah.
All right. Adrian Barbeau, just off the top of my head.
All right.
All right. When we come back, we'll talk to more AJ, Doug, and Donnie from the Verve Pipe, and we'll hear something else and possibly another a cappella song. It doesn't have to be anything brilliant.
Need more coffee. I need more coffee.
Okay, we'll get that. All right, back with AJ, Doug, and Donnie, the other half, or 2/3. Wait a minute, 3/5 of the Verve Pipe.
You flunked fractions, didn't you?
Let me explain something about me in high school and math. I never took algebra. I was placed in high school math. This was my third year of college. No, I was placed in high school math in high school and never made it out. I mean, other people take like algebra in like the 6th and 7th grade now, don't they?
Yeah.
Never had algebra. And you know what? Everyone can kiss my ass. I never came up once.
I've spoken to people who really don't believe that you could properly conceptualize reality unless you've studied calculus.
All right, those are your friends who believe me. Your friends who drink half a beer and then vomit on their dates. Please, please, Drew.
It's a real man.
I've seen your friends, Drew. Please, Drew's the cool one. Believe me. We got to get that class picture in here. All right. Did we leave off anywhere? Am I forgetting anything?
I don't know.
Okay, screw 'em. Greg, 23, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I got a couple questions for Dr. Drew and yourself, I guess.
All right.
Well, my girlfriend has just been diagnosed with herpes, and I've been with her for quite a while.
Genital herpes.
Genital herpes. And I've been with her for quite a while, and I don't believe that I have them myself. I mean, I went to the library and I read up on it and all that. And I think I'd know it if I had it.
Not necessarily, by the way. It can be very mild in men, but go ahead.
See, that was my first question. Is it possible for me to get to not to have it and not know it?
Yes, it's possible. Not terribly likely, but it's possible.
So I should go and get a test, a blood test, or urine test, something.
You cannot really, to my estimation, accurately diagnose it unless you have a lesion and then have the virus cultured out of the lesion. That is how you diagnose herpes. Why? What did they do for your girlfriend?
Well, they gave her a prescription drug.
No, how did they diagnose it?
They took a culture. Well, they looked at it. The culture hasn't come back yet. They looked at it, and the doctor...
You really can't diagnose this without a culture, okay?
It's pretty positive.
Drew, can't a trained eye look at this?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's
the other way.
Well, it was trained. It wasn't one of your buddies just looking at her in the crotch, was it? All right.
They looked at it. Said,
she was seen by a doctor, and
it's a very hard diagnosis to make, though, because a lot of things can look like that. But go ahead.
all right. Well, I'm going on the assumption that she has it.
All right.
I guess we're supposed to wait a couple more days. I'm pretty worried about it for myself because I don't know how it's spread.
Contact.
Is it just sexual contact?
Any contact. You can get a terrible eye infection. It can obviously go to your mouth.
All right, but if you're touching someone's genitalia, theoretically, you're involved with sex.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, how about her touching her genitalia and, like, touching me next?
Yep.
But unlikely, though, isn't it, Drew?
No, if you have active lesions, it is highly contagious.
So,
yeah, but how does it then get into you? I mean, let's say she scratches herself or something when she has an active lesion,
right?
And then she shakes hands with you.
No.
Or say
she'd have to put her hand in your eye or something, right?
She has active lesions, and she's, has her underwear on or whatever, and I'm sleeping with her.
No, nothing's going to happen.
And it touches my leg or...
Don't worry about that.
Nothing. So it has to... it actually has to touch either my mouth or...
it can go to...
Just quarantine her.
Yeah, it can go to any skin surface.
Just
actually
poke your penis through the plastic on the side of the quarantine.
But it's
once a week.
much more likely for a transmission to occur if it hits what's called a mucosal surface, the mouth.
Okay.
Here's what I would do, by the way, Greg. Do you like this girl?
A lot.
Dive in. Take the herpes challenge. Just jump right in there. Just get naked and rub yourself on every infected part of her body. Show her you love her.
That is scaring
Valentine's is coming up. It really is.
This is scaring me.
Forget about the flowers this year. That is the ultimate act of love. Could you imagine how flattered a woman would be if you said, yes, please, honey, come here and bring the lesion?
Okay. Well, then I guess that answers my next question. And also, is there a cure?
No, there are treatments. I mean, there's now 3 good antiviral drugs for this: Famvir, Valtrex, and Zovirax.
That's what the Famvir is what they prescribed her.
Famvir is probably the easiest to take, and it works very well. And it will shorten the duration of the initial outbreak, which is usually more intense than the subsequent recurrences. And the recurrences can be, again, shortened, and the numbers of recurrences can be diminished.
All right. And Drew, you think everyone has the happies, right?
It's very common.
Very common. All right. So that always makes me think you have it, It really does.
Very common. Okay. Warts are very common, too.
Right.
In fact, they're way more common.
You have an outbreak now? Okay. Anyone have the happies? Anyone? No? Donnie?
No. I got a clean bill of health.
Really?
Yeah, I just went and got checked out.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you had to have the happies to be in a group.
No.
Everything good. All right. That's nothing to be ashamed of, fellas. Tammy.
Hi.
20, you're on Loveline.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Thanks.
My question is, 3 years ago, I was raped, and I had a kid from it, and she lives at home with me, and it's great, and I love it.
How very courageous for you.
To have...
Yes.
Really?
I mean, because the people... I don't know if Tammy thought this through, but people who are anti-abortion believe that the children that are conceived out of a rape are innocent bystanders of the violent act.
Yeah.
That they didn't ask to be conceived. To terminate the pregnancy.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the
I
rape.
am at the risk of sounding insensitive.
No, don't worry. I love how you are. So.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, listen, ho. No, I was just testing you. I can't imagine having an orgasm while I'm raping somebody. I mean, I know it's a sexual turn-on, and I don't know if Tammy was struggling or kicking or yelling or biting or whatever was going on, but the point is this. I have to focus like the ninja to have an orgasm. I swear to God, the neighbor goes walking in the apartment above me, and that's it. No, I walk away. You know what I mean? Like the weightlifters when they give that, they drop it and they walk.
A little flopping around is good, but too much, it's...
I couldn't imagine trying to have sex with someone who didn't want to have... Well, most of them don't want to have sex, but who are actually putting a fight up with me. I could never have the orgasm. I can't imagine how... You really have to have a demented mind, because that means you're turned on by the act of rape.
Pretty much. He was pretty damn demented, I'd have to say.
Who was this guy?
He was a friend of my brother's.
Wow.
And it's like, the whole story is like really strange because I never told my family I was pregnant at all. And I came home one day and my water had broke and I was like, they just thought I was getting fat or something. My mom's all, you need to go on a diet.
Oh my God.
And I went to counseling like afterwards, you know, to deal with like having my daughter and stuff because it was really, really hard for me to like stay in school and have her and all.
How did you make that decision to have the child? It's just, I think that's a terribly courageous decision. Was it one you thought out, or you just didn't know any better? I mean,
I was like the whole time I was pregnant, I just denied the whole thing.
Right.
I was like, no, this is just a really, really bad dream, and it's not going to happen.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, reality just slapped me in the head one day, and I was like, you know, God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And then, like now, it's like it was like 3 years ago when it happened, and now I feel like I'm not like scared of guys, but I'm rather more like cynical, and I'm just like, I'm not like rude, but I'm more like, you know, if I don't need your crap, just get the hell away from me kind of thing.
We would call Tammy a mature and realistic young lady.
Yes. We should all learn not to trust.
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm
If I can get any message across to the kids, I think that would be it. Learn not to
Don't trust anybody.
Yes. Be bitter and cynical.
So I'm normal?
Well, listen, obviously you have a child. You'd like to have a father for that child at some point, and you'd like to get on with your life and relationships.
To the extent that it impairs your ability to connect with guys that you actually would like to have a connection with, then it is a problem. Because you probably push all guys away no matter what.
See, I know, and it's like, it's really hard because I know that there's men out there that are just like, oh, God, that girl has a kid, you know, and those are the kinds that I don't want to be around.
Right.
And I don't want to put myself into a situation where I'm scared of my child more than, you know, I'd want to be with somebody, and that's so wrong. But it's like, at the same time, I'm just like worried that I'm just going to become like this heartless little wench for the rest of my life, you know, and just be like, become a little snail and a slug or something like that. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't understand if I'm like normal or...
Well, look, here's the... Tammy.
Yeah.
We got to go to break, but let me just tell you this.
Cool.
You had something terribly traumatic happen to you, and you have to sort that out.
Yeah.
One cannot get raped in any form of the word rape. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean someone forces sex on you. I'm just, in the broadest term, when somebody rapes you, violates you, you have to work out this issue. Otherwise, it's going to affect every relationship you have from that point on. You can put it aside and work around it for a little while, but eventually it's going to come out, and it usually comes out with a little interest because it has been not taken care of, and it tends to stagnate. Fester, and it comes out even worse than it was when it started. And that's why it's important, by the way, that when things happen to you, for you to get on them at that point and not waste years and years and years.
She did. She had some treatment, she said.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay. The point is you need to work through this, and then, you know, this was an incident. It happened. You can get past it. You love your child, and you can have good and caring relationships.
You don't get the sense that Tammy is chronically having problems with her relationship. You know, you get that
I don't think she's going to make a life out of that.
You get the sense that she's angry and hostile and cynical and having difficulty with these things. But
I'm the same way. Really.
Right, that's the point. I mean, there's a certain amount of reality in those sorts of attitudes, and what she needs to do is to put herself out there slowly, systematically, and be somewhat vulnerable, but continue to be careful and guarded and make very, very careful choices with whom you choose to be vulnerable.
Another part of my master plan,
Drew. She'll eventually connect with somebody.
We need to create somebody between a man and a woman. You know, I don't know if it's a hermaphrodite or what it is, but we have a lot of women that have been screwed over by guys. They want to get back into the dating arena, but they don't want to jump right in with a man.
So we need a fresh piece.
On the other hand, they're not a lesbian. So there's someone, I'm thinking, off the top of my head, maybe Richard Simmons. Technically, there's a penis there, but that's as far as it goes.
But would you really want to use that as a prototype?
Well, we won't. No, he's a little annoying. We'd have to cross him with a mute or something, and perhaps...
Because otherwise you're getting into Charles Nelson Riley land.
Ho ho! Aha! All right, we'll be back. All right. Yes, thank you, Drew. We're here with the Verve Pipe, and Villains is the name of the CD. We have AJ, Doug, and Donnie in here. We had Brian and Brad in here a little bit earlier, and we were going to hear a little something else off of Villains. Was there a song called Villains on Villains?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why I was a little bit confused. All right. You want to say anything about it? Forget it.
Forget it.
Let's just listen to it.
Let's listen to it.
You know, this is weird radio etiquette. You know, I sat with the program director many months ago, and he said, listen, when you go into a song, you talk to the band about the song. What's the inspiration behind the music? And usually you have some stone drummer who goes, I wasn't in the band. When,
I was sick that day.
Yeah, that's a cover of a Uriah Heep song, so whatever they were thinking. But they always said, you know, hey, you should ask the band. And every time we tried it, they sit there and they go, oh. So, screw it, I'm not asking anymore. Here it is, Villains. That would be Villains off of Villains by the Verve Pipe. And, just guys, you know, don't forget about the, you know, the guys who gave you the big break early on in the career. That's all.
Never ever.
That's all I'm saying.
Never ever.
Because
it's been too nice to us.
I really love this band, and you know what I like about them? Half the bands out these days just sound like they're doing well, we're doing a Green Day imitation, or they pick their Nirvana, whoever it is, they pick it, and then they do their best job to sound about as close as they can to it. And it doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. Some of them do a good job, but Verve Pipe, very unique. Couldn't say they sound like anybody else.
Nice. Thank you.
That's quite a compliment. Thank you.
Very much so.
And believe me, I see a lot of bands, fellas. You guys, star quality.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Now you sound like our famous program director here.
Right, who
you know
called...
what? You're going to write the liner notes for him.
No, he called us into the studio, called us into a viewing room and said, you've got to see this band. These guys are stars. They're huge.
Yeah, this guy's very big in the business over at K-Rock, and he called us in and sat me and Drew down and forced us to watch one of your videos.
Hope it didn't hurt.
Drew and I walked out like I was having some sort of Clockwork Orange brainwashing thing. I said, Drew said, Verve Pipe, these guys? I said, yes. All right, let's get on board. Gotta know who to kiss up to early on. All right, so just don't forget who was on board for one of the first on board. Rachel.
Hi.
Hey, you're 20, you're on Loveline.
Yeah. I have 2 questions for the Verve Pipe.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I was wondering when they're going to play for me in Orange County again.
Oh.
I saw you guys at the Coach House in June.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were amazing.
Thank you. Thanks.
I predict they'll be at the Weenie Roast this year.
The Weenie?
You do?
I'm making a prediction.
Oh, yeah?
And I have absolutely nothing to do with setting up that lineup.
And you've heard nothing?
Heard nothing.
All right, that's a curse. You guys have never been.
Should we throw a dollar in?
8-ball out.
No, with Kevin behind it the way he is, I can't imagine that.
You know, Rachel, we're not going to be touring this month, beginning this month. I believe we're going to start in April. But we will be coming out to L.A. and doing an in-store. We'll be doing an in-store at Tower Records in Westwood.
That's right.
On March 14th.
Wait a minute.
That's right.
We're not
going to be there. No.
You're not going to be there?
No, we already did our in-store. We did one with Local H. They don't. Here's the situation over at K-Rock, the mother station. They don't necessarily care who we like or who we don't like. They just sort of hook us up with whoever. Local H was great, and we had them on sort of, it worked out nicely because we had Local H on the radio show a couple of days, I believe, before we did the in-store. They sounded great at the in-store. If Drew had got there on time, he would have heard them, too. And it was a huge turnout, and everything was great, and the guys are nice. But when I saw the list, I said, the Verve Pipe. And you guys are hooked up with Booger Man or something.
What do you guys usually do on Friday nights?
What do we do on Friday nights? TV show?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See how that happens?
All right, Ann. Always defending the man.
But thanks for participating.
All right.
No problem.
All right, so they're doing the in-store at Tower on the 14th.
Yeah, in Westwood.
Okay.
All right, can you make the trek down to Westwood and catch him, Rachel?
Probably.
Well, make sure you come up and say
What was the
hello
other
to us.
question, Rachel?
My other question was, I know you guys have like a mailing list, and I talked to Mac one time, and he told me that you might be putting the cover Strawberry Fields on your new album. Is that true?
Probably not. No, probably not.
You guys did it when I saw you at the Troubadour.
Yeah, you guys did it at the Coach Yesterday. It was killer.
Oh, thank you. We actually, the last time we were in the studio was when we recorded the new version of The Freshman, and we were actually talking about recording it there and just never got around to it. And,
is there a recording of The Freshman on a new single too?
It's on the CD5, and if you look for the CD, and if there's a sticker on it that says featuring The Freshman and Photograph, that's the one. Some of them.
I have villains, but I was wondering if the new recording of The Freshman.
Right. Well, they're starting to press new discs now with that version included. So you just have to look for that little sticker that has.
And you guys are not doing any more acapellas?
You know what? We were searching for something to sing, but I don't think they want us to do that hee-haw thing. You know, you met another. And
they're going to do the Dream Police at 12:15. All right, but it's going to be in the van.
What about a love song for me? Because I don't have a balance.
All right, Rachel, you've asked quite enough of the very important band.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
Michelle.
Hi.
23. You're on Loveline with the Verve Pipe.
Hi. It's very nice to talk to you guys. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you, Michelle.
Hello.
I think this question might be addressed to Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you think that a guy could be gay if he's if he's never really been with another guy, but if he shows signs like, for example, he likes to have anal sex with a girl? I mean, does that put on him?
No, that makes him more heterosexual, believe it or not. In its own ass-backward way, it really does, pardon the pun.
He likes you to put things in him?
Yeah.
No, that's just his preference.
Oh, wait a minute.
Adam's mixed up.
Hold on, I was confused for a second. He wants to be violated?
Yeah.
With what?
Well, you know, just whatever. Different things.
He doesn't want you to pretend like you're a male.
No.
No, that's his preference. That doesn't.
I was just wondering. You know.
No, that I mean, it may have its roots in similar sorts of phenomenon, perhaps. I don't know if that's the case in fact, but it does not mean that a guy is more likely to be gay.
Well, I'll tell you what a good argument for that is half the gay guys who call this show do not engage in any form of butt love.
Right.
Which I find despicable. I think if you're going to pursue the homosexuality, that you should not do it in a, again, pardon the pun, a half-assed manner. That you should go all the way, and that you should be sodomized whenever possible.
Is he a highly fashionable man?
Well, that is a good question. Michelle?
Yes?
Does he enjoy the fashion?
You mean the way he dresses?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to dress good, and he's very GQ. And
Does he get his hair cut weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Probably monthly.
All right.
So he's on top of his appearance.
Is there a squeegee in the shower?
A what?
Squeegee.
I don't think so.
Not in the shower.
Okay. How does he have a Speedo, and how small is it?
No, he doesn't wear those.
All right.
No way.
All right. This guy's probably all right.
Good. I'm glad.
All right. So happy strapping. Oh, Christ. Could you imagine? No. My sphincter hurts just thinking about it. It really does. All right. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back to wrap up and wrap down with the Verve Pipe. No one tomorrow night? Good. All right, no guests, thank God. My fill of guests.
Just you and your busty magazine.
Oh, yes. Actually,
can I take this with me?
No.
I had a sneeze guard.
You can watch it, but I have to have one of my men in with you.
Okay.
All right. Verve Pipe, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We
Our
do
pleasure.
appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on Friday. That's TV Talk. And the name of the CD is Villains. If you haven't already gone out and got it, please go out and get it. It is a great CD. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Dr. Drew is right.